What up? What's going on, y'all? I'm back with another one. Hope everybody's doing good. Fellas, I need you to be very, very careful when you're dealing or interacting with women, especially women that you don't know. Listen, I know it's fun when you're out and about, meeting women and conversing with women and just talking and blah, 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 shooting the breeze and all of that stuff, laughing, joking, and things of that nature, right? But you have to be very, very careful because you never know the nature of or the intent of that particular woman, or if it's a group of women, that particular group, or maybe just one of the individuals inside that group, right? You have to be very, very careful because a lot of times, man, when you're dealing with women, just the dynamic between men and women, as a man, your leverage is not the same as a woman's, right? Let me break down something that just happened to me while I was at work. It's not necessarily a work issue, although it originated at work, but it's just a way for me to show you how you can get caught up in a bad situation interacting with a woman when ultimately at the end of the day there was absolutely 100% no harm intended. You didn't do anything wrong, but you found yourself in a sticky situation. So I'm at work. If you don't know, I deliver mail, and so I'm delivering mail this day doing overtime today in a set of apartments. And so a lot of times one of the um, what's the word I'm looking for? One of the issues that I deal with when I'm delivering mail to an apartment complex is people not having the key to their mailbox, right? So I typically know what the situation is going to be when I get to the mailbox and then I see people coming to the mailbox and they stand around and they're waiting. I'm not the regular guy, so I don't know the people. A lot of times, whoever is the regular, they may know who's who, and they don't have a problem with giving them their mail because they know who they are. However, I don't know anybody. I don't know Susie Q from Mary Jane, and so I don't just give out mail. So when they come to the mailbox, I make it clear. I say, listen, uh, the only way that you can get your mail is if you have your key, or what I will do as a courtesy, if they have identification, and the identification, right, like a state issued ID, has the address to the apartment complex as well as the apartment number. Okay. And then and only then will I give them the mail, but I will only give them the mail with their name on it. I do that as a courtesy. I really don't even have to do that, but I'll do that as a courtesy. So anyway, I'm at this set of mailboxes. There's a young lady. She's standing there as I open up the mailboxes. So I let her know in advance. I said, "Hey, are you waiting for your mail?" She says, "Yes." I said, "Okay, do you have your key?" She said, "No, I don't have my key." I said, "Okay, well, since you don't have your key, you're going to need ID with the address on it, and the ID has to match the ID has to match the apartment number for the mail that you're asking for, right?" So, "Oh, well, I don't have, the regular guy, this, that, and the third." I said, "Well, listen, I'm not the regular guy. Therefore, I don't know who's who, and I can't give anybody the mail just because they say that that's their mail. I don't know. I have to verify that it's you. That's my role in securing the mail and making sure." You know what I'm saying? I just went through, the whole spiel or whatever. And so she gets upset because she can't get her mail. So now she's telling me, well, what I should do is drive down to the rental office and I can confirm with the rental office that she does in fact live at that apartment so that I can give her her mail. So I'm not going through that. That's not my job to go and find whoever it is that you want me to find so that I that's not my job. That's not my issue. You not having a key and you not having an ID, you not having access to get your mail is not my issue, right? But again, I'm being as calm, cool, collected, and I'm trying to be as nice as possible with the woman. So now she's going back and forth about, I'm an idiot. You give somebody a job and they think they're the president of the United States. You give them a job and they think they, all this kind of stuff. They better than the world and all. So anyway, I keep putting the mail in the box. She said, "Yo, listen, you know what? I don't like your attitude. And I said, ma'am, I haven't said anything to you other than what the rule is. So if you don't like me because I'm sticking to the rules, then I mean, hey, I'm sorry, but the rules are the rules. She says, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go around and report you because I don't like your attitude. I says, okay. Anyway, I keep putting the mail in the box. So now as I'm getting ready to close the mailbox is up, a guy comes. So now I'm already on alert, right? So I'm like, all right, who's this dude, right? Because of the interaction that I had with her, I'm already on alert, right? I got street knowledge, I got street sense. And so he was like, hey, man, what's up, man? What's going on? So I said, what's up? He said, man, I heard you got an issue, man, with my old lady, and I came to handle that issue. So I said, nah, I don't have a problem with your old lady. So he said, yeah, well, that's what she told me. I said, nah, I don't have an issue with your old lady. So then he asked me, he said, well, you know who my shorty? He said shorty. I said old lady, my bad. He said shorty. He said, man, so you know my shorty? Nah, I don't know your shorty. You know what I'm saying? So how you know you don't have an issue with her? I said, look, man, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. You know what I'm saying? And I said, look, man, I got 99 problems, but a shorty ain't one. So he looked at me like, oh, okay, all right. Well, look, man, you know what I'm saying? My shorty, she feels some type of way, man, because you tried to holler at her. And then now, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to give her the mail because she made it clear that she got a man and she's not giving you her information. And now you feel some type of way, da-da-da. Yo, listen, at no point in time did I try to holler at shorty or anything like that. At no point in time did I even say anything that, in my opinion, could be misconstrued as I'm trying to holler at you. I like you. I think you cute. Can I get your number or anything like that? The only thing I ever asked her for was either her key so that she can get the mail out of her box, right? In which I didn't ask her for the key. I just asked if she had a key, or to show me ID to prove that she lived at the address in which she was asking for the mail, right? Again, she made up a story, went and told dude, and so now I'm in a situation where, you know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with a dude in regards to something that didn't even happen. So I'm like, nah, man, that's not even what happened, man. Shorty wanted the mail. She don't have her key. She don't have her ID. End of story. She can't get the mail. Nah, but she was like, yo, you was trying to holler at her. Whatever, woo, woo. Nah, bro. I did not try to holler at you, shorty. You know what I mean? So we here now. You know what I mean? What? What are we going to do at this point? Because I did not try to holler at you, shorty. I told you what it was. And so, you don't know me like that, man. You come through here, whatever, whoop, whoop, and blah, blah, blah. So like I said, I was already closing up the mailboxes. So now at this point, I'm like, man, let me go ahead and close up the boxes and move on out of here, right? But guys, you have to be very careful with the interactions that you have with women, because women will try to just use things to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll try to manipulate certain situations to try to make it work in their favor. And I'm gonna tell you this: I know for a fact that there are a lot of men who just go ahead and just do certain things when they're dealing with women, simply because they don't want to deal with the possibility of what could happen on the back end. I see it all the time at work. Guys are letting women disrespect them and talk to them all kind of way and all this kind of stuff, and they just be like, I don't want no problems, man. I just this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when you're gonna be that dude that's, you know what I'm saying, you got to stand up for yourself. Sometimes there are gonna be some things that come along behind that. So to protect yourself, guys, just be very, very mindful and be careful of the interactions that you do have with women. In this case, there was nothing I can do. I'm on the job, and so I had to interact, you know what I'm saying, with the woman, because I knew she was going to ask me for her mail and blah, blah, blah. I kept it professional, but that wasn't good enough. She went and said whatever it is that she said. There's a lot of people right now, there's a lot of men right now that are in jammed up situations over something that did not even happen. Now listen, be clear. I'm not saying that all women are like this. I'm not even saying that most women are like this. All I want to do is, for the most part, open your eyes to certain situations that you can find yourself in that can or potentially catch you 100% off guard, because you're getting a story back that never happened. So, guys, you got to be very careful when you're dealing with interacting and conversing with women, because it can ultimately turn out bad. So just be mindful, especially again when it's women that you're dealing with that you do not know. A simple, friendly conversation can really turn into a whole, you know what I'm saying, like a whole big thing, man. One time I got into it at the job, man, because while I was working, shorty, a chick came to the mailbox and she was talking to me like, "Hey, how you doing? Like you handsome, whatever, woo woo." And then her dude, her dude starts yelling at her out the window like, "Yo, what are you doing? You gonna get the mail and come back or whatever?" The whole time, you know what I'm saying? She like we flirting or whatever. But yo, she had a whole dude that was just like waiting for her. Now she came out. You know what I'm saying? Now the dude came out and he looking like, "Yo, what's going on?" When she walked back, she went and told the dude like, "Yo, I tried to holler at her." So now the dude, you know what I'm saying? So y'all just gotta be mindful. And that was years ago. That was years ago. That was like, you know what I'm saying, when I first got the job, it was just, I was young, had on a uniform, women used to just come around and, whatever. But just be mindful, guys, because a lot of times you will find yourself in a jammed up situation and you'll find yourself defending something that actually never happened. So guys, be careful the way you interact with women, especially women you don't know. Now, I'm not saying that it can't happen with a woman that you do know, but especially a woman that you don't know, guys. Just be mindful of all interactions. I'll just put it like that. All right, guys. All right, so I'll let you go, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I appreciate y'all. Yo, also let me know in the comment section, man, if you ever been in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, somebody said something, a woman have said something that it didn't happen like that. Like it was nowhere near the way that they made it sound. Even going through a breakup, you know what I'm saying? Man, I've been broken up with and told that I was this and I did this and I did all these things. And I'm like, yeah, you got to be kidding me. None of this happened. So, guys, you got to be careful, man. A lot of times, women are just make themselves out to be the victim. And, like I said, Shorty was like, "Oh, I'm going to report you." You know what I'm saying? All I'm doing is doing my job, but I'm sure in the report, it's going to say something different than what actually happened. So, y'all be mindful and be careful, man, because you could really find yourself in a jammed up situation. I'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, y'all be good.